Okay, here's a story time on how I kicked out my labor and delivery nurse and basically told her to get lost, since we're on the topic of labor and delivery nurses. Okay, so for context, I had my son in May of 2021 when a lot of the C rules were starting to go down, and I still had to get tested before I had my son. And when I went into labor, I was induced. My first nurse was super sweet to me, never told me to wear a mask, never even mentioned it, never said nothing. So my first nurse was hanging out with me, talking to me, asking me about all my plans of becoming a new mom, and never once mentioned anything about me wearing a mask. Never once mentioned it to my husband, to anyone. Okay, so up comes the shift change and I get a new nurse. This new nurse comes in, guns blazing. As soon as she comes in, she's like, I'm mid-push. I'm talking about like I am been pushing for 2 hours at this point, okay? And she comes in and says, everyone needs to stop and put on their mask. Okay, my husband, my mom, they're not pushing, cool, whatever. I'm like, there's no way I'm pushing with the mask on. Like, that's crazy. Still, either way, I played it up. And it literally put the mask here, but I don't have it covering my nose. And then she literally stops me again. You need to put your mask on over your nose. At that point, my husband and my mom were looking at me like, don't say anything, don't say anything. But no, I did say something, because if no one else is going to stand up for me, I'm going to stand up for myself. I told her, have you ever pushed a baby with a mask over your face? She looks at me like, no. Exactly. So if you've never pushed a baby out with the fucking mask on your face, then don't tell me anything. And you know what? You're here to supposedly make my life easier, and you're not making my life easier. You're making it fucking harder, so you need to leave and you need to get out of here. She literally looked at me and was like, whatever. She leaves. In comes her manager and tells me, I am so sorry. I apologize. You know what? We were having a shift change at that moment. I'm bringing in another nurse, okay? I apologize sincerely for how she treated you.